What is up, noobs and noobettes? Charles or Atingleee here, and welcome back to another video, guys. Today's video is going to be how to improve your trigger finger and make that bitch as quick as possible, man. This motherfucker right here has been called a hacker on many occasions, and hopefully it's going to be the same for you, man. These are going to be my best tips on how to speed that bitch up, and hopefully you're going to be tearing that ass up in no time. If you're someone that's trying to become good with semi-auto weapons, or you're just trying to make it easier for you to complete the pistol camo challenges, this is definitely going to be very beneficial for you. Either way, I'm going to stop blabbing. Let's jump straight into this shit. Okay, so before we get started with the tips, I'm just going to demonstrate my trigger finger just to prove to you guys that I know what I'm talking about, and hopefully you can have some confidence in my tips. I'm going to start off shooting slowly and then speed up just to prove that I do not have a modded controller and that the only thing that's modded is my finger. Let's get straight into it. Okay, hopefully that was enough proof for you guys. I definitely love using my pistols, man. Alrighty, so the first tip I'm about to give you all, and probably the biggest tip of the entire video, is to switch your button layout to flipped. I know, it can be daunting and time consuming to get used to a new button layout, but at least hear me out just so you can see just how important it is for your trigger finger. So you want to go over to options, go to your button layout and hit square or X and switch over to flipped. Now, let me explain this with my hands just so you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, if you were using the trigger to shoot, you'd have to press it down a certain amount almost halfway before it actually shoots. Even though it doesn't take that long for that to happen, it's a lot quicker for you to use R1 because you can take the next shot instantaneously. It's just a quick click and it allows you to take the next shot almost immediately, and this is definitely going to speed up your trigger finger instantaneously. You're going to notice a big difference over using the trigger, and if you're bothered learning the new button layout and getting used to the new button layout, I would highly recommend this. I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a little while to get used to this because I would always be throwing grenades while I'm getting into gunfights, but I'd recommend hopping into a private match with some bots. Get your mind wrapped around the fact that it's using L1 and R1 to aim and shoot now, and trust me, once you get used to it, you will not regret it. Alright, fine. If you really don't want to swap your button layout, I'm going to give you a tip with the trigger that can hopefully help you speed it up. So, when you're using the trigger, you have to press it down a certain amount before it takes the shot. What you want to do is to have a really quick trigger finger. You want to hover at that point right where it shoots and just go up and down on that point. Instead of letting the trigger bounce all the way back, you want it to just bounce back enough to where it's above that point so you can take it down again and let it shoot again. This will allow you to shoot as quickly as possible, and it'll mean that your trigger finger doesn't suck ass. And now the next tip is finger positioning. So, the way you position your finger on the button you're using to shoot is really important. Different parts of your finger can press the button a lot quicker than others, so you need to find this part for yourself. Each person's different. Me personally, I like to either use this part of my finger right here at the knuckle, just right there, or this part here at the other knuckle. I usually use this lower part here because it lets me just quickly vibrate on the button like that, but this is also really quick as well. You want to experiment with this. Find out what's allowing you to shoot really quickly. Also keep in mind that some positions of your finger may make it harder for you to aim, so you want to make sure you're not becoming too inaccurate just to be really quick. Another big tip with this is to keep your finger relaxed, guys. You don't want to really tense it up to the point where you can't even move that bitch. You want to keep it semi-relaxed just so it's able to move a lot quicker. I know this looks fucking weird, but bear with me. So what you want to do is relax it, but just tighten it to the point where you have control and just spam that bitch as quickly as you can, man. It's definitely going to be really beneficial when you find the point on your finger that allows you to shoot as quickly as possible. So definitely experiment with this and don't take this lightly. It's fucking important, you dickhead. And now my last tip, and probably the most obvious one, is to use pistols as much as possible. The fastest way to improve your trigger finger, guys, is to practice, so make sure you're using pistols. I say pistols and not semi-auto weapons because the semi-auto assault rifles don't allow you to shoot as quickly as possible, so definitely stick with the pistols. I would recommend the Kendall and the EMC. Actually, I wouldn't just recommend it, you have no fucking choice because the others are either burst or fully auto. if you were using them online, I would definitely recommend the EMC. Although the Kendall allows you to shoot a tiny bit quicker, you only notice this if you're going extremely quickly, but the EMC has higher damage, so you're definitely going to be getting a lot more consistent kills with this thing, so I would highly recommend using this bad boy. And now a couple bonus tips just to make sure you're as efficient as possible with your new fast trigger finger. Firstly, although it's really important to be super quick with the pistols, you want to make sure that you're not sacrificing accuracy just to hit that button as quickly as possible. You want to find a medium where you're able to shoot pretty fast but still direct your aim, as it's more important for you to get all your shots on target than to shoot as quickly as possible and miss half your shots. Don't get me wrong, if you're really close to the enemy and you're not going to be aiming down sight, then by all means, spam that bitch as quickly as you can. But if you're trying to be accurate and you're trying to pick off some people, make sure you find a speed where you're relatively quick but can still direct your aim very well. And the next tip, and this is definitely overlooked guys, is to make sure your fingers are warm. If your fingers are cold, there isn't much blood in them, and this won't allow you to freaking rapid fire that bitch as quickly as you can. So do whatever you need to do, have a heater near you, run your hands under warm water, hold your penis, whatever it takes, warm up those fingers so you can hit that button as quickly as possible. And if you don't believe me, make your hands cold, try to shoot fast, you'll definitely notice that it prohibits you from doing so, man. Make sure those bitches are warm, do whatever you need to do, dip your hand in a volcano, whatever it takes, do that shit and then go earn some noobs, man. And that's pretty much it, guys. Those were all my tips on how to speed up your trigger finger as quickly as possible, man. Make sure you implement all that shit and go and tear that ass up with some pistols, dude. If you found this video useful at any point in time, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe, dude. The point of this channel is to make you a better Call of Duty player, so if that's your goal, then you came to the right place, dude. Either way, guys, don't forget to leave me a comment letting me know what you thought. Go and implement some of these tips and come back to the video and let me know if they helped you guys out. They definitely will, so make sure you take them all into account. If there's any specific tip videos you'd like me to make sure you let me know in the comment section as well. But that's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to rate it and leave me a comment. I'll catch you all in the next one. Until next time. Peace out, noobs.
Time.